kind of want to ask you a little bit kind of how it was you got involved in this project. Kind of when you were getting the script for the first time for the Ruse, what stood out to you the most and made you want to be part of this?
Well, Stephen got in touch with my managers and agent, and they sent the script over, and I thought it was really a good script. It could be really good thriller, and they don't make movies like that so much anymore. And I liked the challenge of my character, who spends most of her time with her cannula up her nose. But but she was, I mean, Olivia's was a good character to play. She was really interesting and a little OCD and a little possessive about things and odd twitches, but then would have total moments of lucidity, and so that was fun. It was fun to play.
Sure. No, I'm sure, totally. And kind of one of the things I really enjoyed about this movie is up until no, not even the third act, kind of just the last 10, 15 minutes, you're never entirely sure what's going on. Like maybe the place is haunted, maybe there's a killer on the loose, or maybe your character has been like lying the whole time. And there's so many twists and turns. So I'm just kind of wondering, when you kind of did read through the script the whole time, kind of what your reaction was. Like, could you predict at all where this was going?
No, but I thought it was very clever. And the whole thing with the wig is still shocking to me. I totally forgot about that. And all of a sudden they went, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That's really good. That was a really good twist.
Uh-huh.
They're stacked away in the motel down there. Um, and, uh, and Maddie was wonderful to work with. She
Mm,
was great. She's a lovely young lady.
sure.
And so it's nice having people that you can work off of. I mean, it was a very small budget,
Mm.
and that house didn't need that much added stuff. I mean, our set decorator ran around and he was taking things from one room and sticking them in another because the house was very eclectic.
Sure, sure. I was going to ask you about that too, because like you said when we started, the house is a character, and I also just feel like the way it's filmed, like it looks kind of small. Like I don't know. I was just kind of curious what it was like filming. Like I'm
It
assuming out in the
wasn't
basement.
small, it was big actually. It was a very big house. And but the way with the all the doors being at you go one door and then all of a sudden there's another level to it. And yeah, I think that Corey did a really good job with the cinematography, that getting that creepy feeling with, things that were, didn't I just go down there or not?
Sure.
So yeah, it was a cool house, I must say.
Mm.
3 stories.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
Sure. So kind of you also mentioned at the beginning that The Roost kind of just feels like a throwback movie in some ways.
yeah.
Just because I don't know, a lot of the bigger movies like don't do this. Like, they play it one way or the other. This kind of has the freedom to be its own thing and kind of go in a whole bunch of different directions. I mean, there's some thrills, some scares, there's some drama. The ending reveal kind of did remind me of Alfred Hitchcock, just because it's like, and here's why all the people did what they did. So I'm just kind of wondering, was that something that stood out to you about the project too? Like getting to be a part of something that's so different than so many other movies that are kind of coming out right now?
Mhm. Yeah. No, I mean it is sort of one of those. And then the puzzle master is the detective at the end who's putting everything together. And I thought that was a very interesting way to go. Because you don't usually have those things. You're supposed to figure things out for yourself. And most of the stuff you can figure, but then all of a sudden there were several twists and turns, and I'd forgotten about them when I saw it.
Sure. Sure. I love how that character came into it too. Like it didn't feel like obvious or like now we need to tell you everything that happened. Like it felt so natural where here he comes, he's figured it out, let's walk you through it. I thought that was great.
Oh, good, good, good. Well, I hope other people think that too when they see it.
Sure, I'm sure. And you mentioned Madeline, who plays Dale in the movie. I wanted to ask you about her too, because I loved the back and forth that you guys had going. I mean, it felt so natural. I'm just kind of wondering what it was like having her as a screen partner.
She's just a lovely, lovely young lady. And we had an Airbnb that we were in. So the producer, Johnny Caglione Jr., and Corey Carec, who was our cinematographer,
Mhm.
and myself and Ginny, who came with Johnny, and she was our sort of den mother who cooked us food and things like that and made sure we were all okay.
Mhm.
We all lived in the upstairs part, and there were all these bedrooms, and oh my God, beautiful lake outside. I mean, it was a stunning piece of property
Mhm.
and a big, huge Viking stove. I mean, with a barbecue thing in it. It was fantastic. And then Maddie had her own apartment down below. So it was great. We would eat meals together, but we all had our separate places and different wings of this Airbnb.
Sure.
And she's just, I mean, she was lovely. I mean, and she was so sweet to me. I mean, because she respected me and asked me, to sort of if there's something that I could give her. We just worked really well off of each other, I think.
Sure.
And so no, I think she's terrific in it. I think
Yeah.
she's really good.
Sure.
So
No,
I hope
totally.
a lot of the good things happen for her.
Yeah, no, totally. And again, I think the two of you just play off each other so well that it made it all the more fun to watch, really. Just back
Okay.
and forth is great. So kind of as we mentioned with the ruse, you're never really sure what's knowing or what's going on up until the end. And there's at one point where the blame does kind of like the finger gets pointed at you, like maybe Olivia has been the one who's lying and could have killed this nurse like at the very beginning. And I don't want to spoil anything for anyone who's going to watch the movie, but I'm just kind of curious if when you come to that aspect, does that kind of like change your whole performance like in this movie? Like during the earlier scenes, are you like constantly thinking about like I have to try to be kind of suspicious, but not too suspicious?
No, no, I didn't. I mean, I just played her. I mean, and we did shoot one scene where I actually got up and left and I didn't have my cannula in, and then I come back and get into bed and put the cannula back in.
Mhm.
But that wasn't in the movie. I was sort of disappointed because that really made it like, oh, Olivia could really have done it.
Sure.
Um, but I guess Stephen decided not to put that in, but I kind of liked that aspect.
Yeah, sure.
But no, I mean, because I have dementia. So, I mean, sometimes she was totally with it, and other times she was off on her own thing. And, memories of her husband and stuff like that, and not quite picking up on things. So that made it seem, I'm sure, like, well, it could be her. I mean, because other times she was totally lucid, like talking about the music
Right.
and stuff like that.
Hmm. That's
And that
amazing too.
and that was, I mean, I didn't know anything about that, but that was Stephen's daughter who wrote that whole section because
Oh,
I think
really?
she's the conductor or something. And so she wrote that whole section about listen to this part and the fifth of this and I mean, I'm going, oh, okay. And it worked out really well. I
Yeah.
thought it made it so intriguing because I didn't know that. And that
Right.
it was really cool. I didn't
Yeah.
want to make sure I did it justice.
Uh-huh.
But it was very cool with the music there.
Yeah,
So
no, I had the same thought because I don't know much about music either. But when you start talking, that seemed like she sounds like she knows exactly what she's talking about. I'm sure they
thanks,
probably did the research for this.
thanks, Thank you, Stephen, for having your daughter write that.
Sure.
Oh, dear.
Sure. I wanted to ask about working with Steven too, because before this, I wasn't too familiar with his work, and then I've just kind of started going back and looking at some stuff today. He's really like impressive. Like he's got some good titles and really seems to know what he's doing as a director. So just kind of you've been in the industry for so long and done so many different kind of projects. What was it like working with someone who's like kind of up and coming like this?
Um, well, I mean, he knew exactly what he wanted, and he was in the rooms at all times. So I mean, if with different things he would say, no, especially like the stuff with the items on the side of the table and stuff like that, that she's very OCD and has to have things in certain places. And the mug and the things like that. Those were all things that Stephen came up with, and he was very, very particular about. I mean, he'd run in and he'd set up everything exactly the way it had been. I mean,
Sure.
so you think, oh, okay. Um, so he was you do scenes and sometimes you'd just be so excited about the way it was turning out, you know. He really gave you free rein to do a lot of stuff that you felt that your character would do. So that was nice. It's nice to have.
Sure. Sure. No, that makes total sense. And Veronica, you've been in so many kind of just horror and thriller projects over the years. I mean, all the way back to The Birds, to Invasions of the Body Snatchers and Aliens, and kind of even just like still now recently with the Ruse novel.
Alien, not
Alien.
alien.
Yes. Yep. Sorry. Alien.
Yeah.
Is this kind of a genre that you find yourself specifically drawn to, like wanting to be part of these things, or does it just
I,
kind of happen?
it's all accidental. I don't know what happens. But you know, the scripts get sent, and if the part's really cool and really different for something I haven't done, then I'm happy to do it. You know, it's like I certainly don't go saying I have to be in this horror movie, you know. But I mean, I even did Town That Dreaded Sundown, and that was sort of a horror movie too. So I don't know. They keep picking me. I don't know why.
I think it's because you're really good at it. You saw the characters so well in all those movies.
Gosh.
And so The Rubes is being released in theaters this coming May, which I thought was really exciting because like low budget indie movies, like typically they just go straight to VOD and then kind of it's harder for people to like find them and discover them. But the fact that this is going to be playing like in actual theaters, I thought was really
In
cool.
general, yeah, general release. I'm really, I'm proud of that. I mean, as you say, independent movies just don't get, they're limited runs. They get little tiny theaters and stuff like that, or special things. But yeah, to have it nationwide is really cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited just to for people to see it and see kind of the reactions to it because
Oh, good.
it'll be fun, I
Good.
think.
Thank you.